Today we're going to check out the Downriver Audubon neighborhood, and I'm especially excited to talk about this one because I'm actually moving into this neighborhood in the next 30 days. And so I'm very excited to just be exploring the neighborhood, see what it's going to be like while I live here. I'm going to take you along, so let's go ahead and check it out. So to start off this video, we are in Audubon neighborhood. There's going to be some B-roll, but I'm probably going to just walk through this park for most of this video. But Audubon Park is absolutely huge. And one of my hot takes is that I think Downriver Audubon is basically the new South Hill. The South Hill has that charm of older homes, older craftsman style homes, but you can actually see in the background that there's quite a bit of those here in the Audubon neighborhood, and it's a lot more affordable. We have huge parks in this area. Housing is like $100,000 to $300,000 cheaper in this area, and there's just a lot to do in the area. So first off, let's talk about things to do. One thing I love about the Downriver neighborhood is the green space. We have Audubon Park right here, but then you also have another bluff, because the South Hill has a bluff as well that's very, I think, popular. It's much larger and longer, and the hiking trails go on for miles and miles, but there is a Northwest Boulevard bluff that actually looks down to the Spokane River, and it's actually very easy to get down to the Spokane River from the trails. A little bit steep, but there are some trails there that'll take you down to the river. And so I don't know, I'm probably going to get into doing cold plunges or something in the river on a regular basis, because it'll be just a few blocks from my house. So that'll be really cool. Or even just to walk down the street and be able to look at the water every day. I'll be able to dream like I have a beachfront property or something like that, but it's just a few blocks away, which would be really nice. We also have the Drumheller Springs area, which is a nice flat open hiking area. Again, it's just like a big large treed field similar to this park almost, and that's kind of more on the east side of this neighborhood, and the houses that surround that area are actually a little bit newer, built more in the 70s and 80s. Some of them are quite large, like long ranchers with basements, things like that, so look a little bit different than some of the 40s, 50s built homes around this area over here. And then there's also the Downriver Golf Course, which is a public golf course owned by the city of Spokane. Huge, beautiful treed golf course, one of my favorites in the area. And right along there I believe it's Park Avenue, and it has a super nice long grassy area that houses back up to as well. So there's a lot of options to get a home that backs up to some sort of large park area, whether you're at Drumheller, Audubon, the golf course, or along Northwest Boulevard. So I think the amount of green space and walkability of this neighborhood is something I'm really excited about. And then in terms of walkability, like, I'm excited about all the small businesses that are in this neighborhood as well. So you have just down on the other side of the park here, Little Garden Cafe, which has great coffee, breakfast, things like that. There's the Radio Bar, there's Pete's Pizza. Up on the northwest corner, we have Outlaw Barbecue, and there's just a lot of cool little spots in this neighborhood that make it very easy to be within, I mean, at least a 5-minute bike ride, but like really, I mean, a 2-minute car ride and a 20-minute walk from really a lot of things to do just in this little community. So I'm really excited about that walkability. And you're really not even that far from downtown. I like that it's kind of up and away from everything else, but I could get on my bike and be in Kendall Yards in 20 minutes from now, and it's relatively flat getting down there, as long as you skip Doomsday Hill up Pettit Drive, which is super steep. You can take some of the side roads and things like that, and I could be in Kendall Yards on my bike with little to no elevation loss or gain or anything like that, and so it'd actually be a relatively easy ride overall. Additionally, this place is also just really convenient to the Garland district, so just to get down to the Garland Theater and anything in that area is again like a 5-minute ride. And so it's just like, if you're up here in the Northwest Spokane area, you've got everything that's going on down Northwest Boulevard, lots of other great businesses, like my favorite Breakfast Burrito by Taco Vado. If I was heading downtown, I would be passing Sando's, which is the drive-through breakfast sandwich place. And so I think just being up here, that's kind of why I like, I've mentioned Indian Trail before as well. If you want a home that's a little bit newer or a little larger or anything like that, you're gonna be driving through this Northwest Boulevard passage to downtown most of the time anyway. So there's just a lot of really great businesses to support along the way. And so I just love that there's a commercial drive here, but it's really not super commercialized. Like, there's a lot of local stuff along this passage here. And so I just love how homey that feels. And then not to forget some of the best pizza in Spokane. I just ate it last night and I forgot to get some B-roll, but the Flying Goat is in this neighborhood, and right across the streets from there is the Downriver Grill. And so anyway, I'm just super excited to just be like in a neighborhood where I can just leave my house and within 2 minutes be at an amazing restaurant and just be hanging out and getting to know people more in this neighborhood. So I think the community here is another aspect of it that I'm really excited about. So because this is a real estate channel and lifestyle, we'll talk a little bit about the real estate in the area. So on the screen, you can see the map of Downriver Audubon neighborhood, like what the actual geography or boundary lines are. And so there's about 3,500 homes in this neighborhood. The average price in 2023 was $360,000. The average price in 2022 was $358,000. So actually a little bit of a gain, but very small, less than 1%, even when the rest of the market went down about 2% on average. But that range goes from $155,000 on the low end to $700,000 on the high end. So you have, the more west you go, the closer you get to Ash and Maple, you're gonna have like some more, the lower price point houses over there. The closer you get to the park, and especially the closer you get down to Downriver Golf Course, the more expensive the homes are gonna get. And so those high price point homes tend to be something that is on the park, has a view, something like that. And generally quite a bit of square footage. But again, to be in a price point where the average is $200,000 less than the South Hill and has like a lot of similar features to the South Hill, I think is really cool, really exciting. So in terms of turnover rate though, so like how often are people selling their home? How easy is it going to be for you to find a home in the Downriver neighborhood? The turnover rate in this area is only about 3%. Only within the last few years, only about 140 to 180 homes in this entire neighborhood sell each year. And so out of 3,500, that's a pretty low absorption rate. You'd want to, or turnover rate, I should say. You'd want to see closer to like 6% for a neighborhood that kind of is like consistently turning over. What that means though is that people buy in this neighborhood and stay in this neighborhood. So even though that there's not the largest homes in the area or anything like that, people love being here and don't want to let their homes go. But there's way more homeowners than there are renters. I believe it was something like 2,500 of those homes were owner occupied, and about 800 of those homes are non-owner occupied. So significantly larger percentage of homeowners in this neighborhood than there are renters in this neighborhood. All right, and let's touch base on the schools for this neighborhood because it's kind of interesting. So for elementary school, it's split up a little bit. Most of the kids are going to go to Finch Elementary, which is actually at the very end of this park, right back there. It's right on the edge of Audubon Park. So that's really cool, nice location for the kids. And then just depending on where you are on the outskirts of the neighborhood, you might be going to Brown Elementary, Willard Elementary, and a couple others, just depending on, again, most of those outer edges will go into another elementary school, another neighborhood, but the vast majority are heading up here to Finch. I think the southwest or southeast corner, I should say, goes down to actually Audubon Elementary. So Audubon Elementary is not on the edge of Audubon Park though. For middle school, the majority of kids are going to Glover, which Glover is off of Wellesley behind Shadle High School and the Shadle Walmart up there. So just a little bit north of here. And what's very interesting is that even though Glover and Shadle are right next door to each other, the large majority of kids that go to Glover from this neighborhood don't actually go to Shadle. They go down to North Central High School, more in downtown Spokane. I've looked at I'll have all the boundary maps here on the screen, but the boundary map for the high school is very interesting because Shadle High School itself is technically in the boundary for North Central High School. So it's super weird. There are kids that live literally right next door to Shadle High School that actually have to drive all the way down to North Central High School. I don't know why. I was a little baffled myself. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. You would think that there would have to be a minimum of like a, I don't know, half a mile ratio or circumference around the school that just automatically included in the district boundary, but I couldn't tell you. So most kids that live in this Audubon Downriver neighborhood after the boundary change are now actually driving down to North Central High School. So if you are looking for a more budget-friendly version of the South Hill, you will like that craftsman charm. You want something built, I mean, a lot of these homes were built a little bit later, but if you want craftsman charm from the early 1900s to up to the 1950s, but way more affordable, really quality home. I mean, I'm buying my house, I'll just be straight up honest, I don't care, for $420,000, but it's everything in the house is brand new besides some cosmetic things that we're gonna upgrade. We're getting brand new roof, furnace, HVAC, like AC, all the more expensive, boring stuff, as I call it, is all brand new. And so to get this, my house up on the South Hill would easily be $150,000 more. And so I think that this is just a great bargain neighborhood to get a lot of the same features, a lot of the same community. And I'm just really excited to be over here now, just kind of like building up, being not only the relocation realtor for this YouTube channel, helping you all buy, sell, and invest in Spokane from out of the area, but really becoming also the specialist for this downriver area, specifically helping people that want to move here or sell in this neighborhood, because I'll be living here as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you are interested in this neighborhood or any other in Spokane, Washington, me and my team would be more than happy to help you. Use the link down below in the description to schedule a time on my calendar at a time that's convenient for you. We'll see you in the next video.